Welcome everybody to the August edition of High Spirits with Edwin Courtenay. Once again, we are going to look at the month ahead from the different perspective of the zodiac signs, and I'm going to use another one of our old oracle decks in order to provide each of the signs with some guidance regarding the energies that might be around them throughout this month. This edition, we're using the Wisdom of the Merlin Oracle deck, which was published evidently in 2017. Now long out of print, I'm afraid. You might be able to find some on eBay if you're lucky, but other than that, yes, alas, no longer available. Okay, I've got my trusty piece of paper with me because I can never quite remember all the star signs. So we're going to go through them all one by one. I'm going to pluck one of the Merlin cards and we're going to see what's going on for you this month. And we're going to start, of course, with Aries. So Aries, you have got the Glamoury spell. I don't think you can see that. Maybe a little bit, maybe not. So Glamoury is a fairy talent, but it was one of the magical skills that the mystical, legendary, mythical Merlin possesses in various versions of his story, and he uses it primarily to transform Uther Pendragon into the likeness of the Duke of Cornwall, so he can have it away with poor old Igraine, who Uther has taken a shine to. So, Aries people, Glamoury is the ability to change the nature of your energy in order to appear to be something that you are not. So you can change the nature of your energy in order to appear to be brave and courageous when you are feeling weak and vulnerable and unconfident. You can change the nature of your energy to appear to be incredibly attractive when maybe you're not feeling your best. You can change the nature of your energy to appear to be dynamic and successful and take charge when maybe you're feeling a little unsure, or when you're not particularly feeling your abundant self. It's done by forcing the desire of how you want to appear to the world into your aura, so that the aura takes on the shape and form of your intent, and that is what people pick up on around you, and then people and the universe respond accordingly. It sits at the heart of the principles of the law of attraction, really, and also shape-shifting from a shamanic perspective. And it can be used to camouflage ourselves, to become invisible when we don't want to be seen by certain people or even affected by certain energies. So Aries people, you need to work on the shape-shifting characteristics of your aura. Make it to fake it this month, and use the power of your intent to shape and change the nature of your aura in order to get that universal response and that human response that you are looking for in the people around you. Taurus, that's me. We've got the triple death, initiation through adversity. So in some of the legends, Merlin dies a triple death. He falls, impales himself, and then drowns. Triple deaths are kind of reserved for demigods or god figures in various different mythologies and legends cross-culturally throughout the world, and they mark someone as being significant and important and powerful and otherworldly. But what it means for we Taurians of this month is that we might be experiencing some difficulties, some challenges, but within those challenges are opportunities to be initiated into power, into knowledge, into wisdom. And the nature of those initiations depends upon the way in which we embrace the challenge. If we cry poor me and slump in a heap, or take to our beds like a Victorian lady, then we are not going to reap any rewards from the challenging experience. But if we face the challenge head on, if we think about what it's bringing up in us and why it might be bringing that up in us. If we try to work with the challenge, then the challenge becomes an initiation that draws from us strength and power, self-realization and truth that can transform us, not only enabling us to deal with the challenge, but enabling us to grow spiritually at the same time. So this could be a bit of a tricky month for we Taurians, but if we embrace the challenge appropriately, it could be a very transformative and empowering and revelatory month for us that could be very rewarding on a long-term basis. Gemini, that's my brother Graham. Hi, Graham. Arthur the Apprentice, a time for learning. So the young Arthur was, in some stories, apprenticed to Merlin from time to time before he became anywhere near being the once and future king. And this card talks about Geminis, this month being an opportunity for you to learn at the foot of the master, whoever that master might be for you, whether that is a physical, spiritual teacher. There could be opportunities this month for you to gain spiritual insight from your guru on maybe a slightly deeper level, maybe even on a personal level. Or it might be a spiritual master, one of the ascended masters, whose presence is drawing close this month in order to guide you and direct you and offer you some teaching. It might be the earth, the environment, the situation in which you are in, which offers a teaching opportunity. So you need to keep your eyes and ears open for that opportunity, and as and when it arises, grasp it, take it. Don't think, oh, I'm a bit busy this month, or oh well, maybe I'll do it next time round because I can't quite afford it. Or don't think, oh well, that can't be for me because I'm not important enough to merit the attention of an ascended master. Take it, take the opportunity and run with it, because the stars are aligning in order to provide you with this moment for great learning and personal transformation and initiation in a way too at the hands of this master presence. Excuse me a moment, lubricate the old pipes. Cancer. So here we have the Sage, wisdom of the heart. The Sage in this deck is Blaze, who is the priest who baptized the baby Merlin and prevented him from being claimed by the devil. So Cancer people, the Sage talks about the wisdom of the heart, clairsentience, super intuition, higher spiritual knowing. This is where you need to be holding your focus this month, at the heart center. Don't worry about your brows and your throat centers and your crown centers. Hold your focus here at the heart. Really important this month for you, because your clairsentient ability is reaching a height, a peak, and if you can lean into it, you can lock it in and stabilize it and possibly even take it to an even higher level whilst all the energy is flowing in that direction. So listen to your intuition. Trust what you know, even if you can't classify it, even if you don't really understand how you know what you know. Don't worry too much about that. Don't try and rationalize it. As and when the information unfolds itself in your head, just go with it, act on it, pass it on, share it, work with it. Clairsentience can be a tricky gift because there's no vision, there's no sound, there's no taste. It's just a knowing. And because you can't describe it to someone or ground it in a kind of classified way, it can feel a lot like wishful thinking and an imagination. So this month you are going to have to deploy a degree of trust in yourself and your ability and faith in your intuition and what you know. when you act upon it and it proves itself to be right, it will give you greater confidence to follow it even further. So trust, act, rejoice when it leads you down the right path, and use that affirmation to lean further and further into the gift and power. Leos, my dad was Leo. Merlin's staff, the hallow of air. So for you, Leos, this is a month of communication. Communication is a two-way street. It's about listening to people, but it's also about clearly communicating your thoughts, ideas, opinions, and views. So for one thing this month, it's important that you are not backwards at coming forward. You're not shy about sharing your vantage point with people, particularly when people ask you for it. But also it's important that you take the time to really listen to what people have got to say and to respond to what they've said, rather than thinking up a response whilst they are still talking. The art of listening is a real skill. And when we really start to listen to what people are saying, it can massively change our vantage point and view of the world. And it can also help us to more deeply understand why someone is saying what they're saying. Because when we really listen to them, we listen beyond the words, and we listen to the soul, to the signal of the soul. We listen with the ears of our own soul. So listening and speaking, but also creativity this month for you, Leos. Any and all opportunities to be a little bit creative, it'll be really good for you. It'll release some very positive energy for you, and it will also free up some space for inspiration to drop into your head as well when you move into that wonderful disassociative state that creativity can bring us, where we are lost in what we're doing, and the head is then open up to receive the higher spiritual signals that are coming to us from the universe. Virgos, Merlin's tower, sacred space. So Merlin has lots of different towers in various different myths, and one of the towers is said to have been made from obsidian, and it's Merlin's sacred space, his tower that he retreats to perform his magic, but also to contemplate the mysteries and plot and plan his schemes. So Virgos, this month is an opportunity for you to retreat a little in order to reframe certain situations that are going on in your life at the moment, in order to take stock, in order to make plans, in order to commune with the divine and your inner self, in order to regain equilibrium and harmony and balance. Obsidian might be a good companion stone for you this month. It's a great stone for siphoning off negative energy, but it's also really good at connecting us to the higher self and stimulating and awakening the brow center and our clairvoyant abilities. But trying to find, and if not find, then make opportunity for you, for yourself, for a bit of you time, a bit of Virgo time, to sit in your own space, in your own energy, with your own connections, to let the noise of the greater world subside so that you can hear the finer spiritual truths that are being whispered to you from your soul and by the guiding presences that are wanting to work with you and move you forwards at this moment in time, and to make plans for the rest of the year and how you're going to navigate the challenges that you know about, and how you're going to prepare yourself to deal with any unknown challenges that might appear, by ensuring that you've got enough energy and that you've got enough protection around yourself, and so on. Libras. My dear friend Carol was a Libra, now in spirit. This one's for you, Carol, if you're listening. Spirit of the Merlin, magical guidance. So for you, Libras, I would say that it is indeed the spirit of the Merlin who is reaching out to you to offer you some magical guidance and direction this month. The spirit of the Merlin is a cosmic ascended master who we can turn to for help with understanding the mysteries of magical wisdom and practice, and who we can turn to for guidance as to which of the magical arts we should pursue and employ, whether that be prayer, whether it be heavy ritual, whether it be hedge witchcraft, whether it be chaos magic. You know, there are so many different types of magical practice out there. And the spirit of the Merlin can lead us to the one that is not only successful for us in regards to the thing that we are seeking to bring into being or banish or bless, but also the spirit of the Merlin can guide us to the magical practice that we would learn the most from, would benefit the most from as a spiritual human being ourselves. So reach out to the spirit of Merlin, explore magical practice. That doesn't necessarily mean, you know, signing up to become a witch or going off and buying some druid's robes. It might just be practicing a little bit of candle magic this month in order to send out some healing vibes to people who are in need, or performing a simple blessing ritual from the Kabbalah if you've just moved into a new home. So don't, you know, go crazy. It's more, I think, about the magical practice than the pursuit of a magical path, though one can lead to the other. But the spirit of the Merlin is the presence who is offering a helping hand to try and help you find the right thing that will be successful for you, and also that will be a blessing on your spirit. Scorpios. Secret and sexual. That's why I don't know why it sticks in my mind. Somebody once said that to me about Scorpios. The demon father, light from darkness. Light from darkness. So in some of the myths, Merlin's father was said to have been a demon, or even the devil himself. It's a bit of a contentious plot line. Some people think that it's just something that his mother said because she had it away with a commoner, and she thought it was easier to say that she'd been got at by the devil than that she'd had it away with a commoner. Either way, her father threw her in a monastery to get her out of the way. So the demon father, light from darkness, talks about the light of Merlin that is born from this dark union. And so for you, Scorpios, this is a month of positive things arising from negative things. So it might be a month in which you encounter challenges and difficulties and obstacles and blockages, but it will be a month from which positivity will arise from those situations. And not even necessarily positivity that you have to engineer or extract or force into the light. It will just emerge that from situations that might seem tricky or difficult or horrible, something positive will arise. And it's about focusing on the positive rather than the negative, and putting your energy into those positive situations. So you need to be a bit more optimistic and positively minded, but I don't think you'll have to look hard for the positive situations that will come to you. Having said that, when we experience these moments, it can kind of put us in a really good positive spin or inclination. And then we can start to look for positive things within negative things. And we can find things that weren't immediately, obviously, there. And it can move us into a polarity, an alchemical polarity of transmuting darkness into light, which is great. And if we can sustain it and keep it going on for the greater good. So let it inspire you to find light in darkness, and to encourage others around you to find light in darkness too. And that could become your thing. You know, everybody wants a friend who can see light in darkness. God blimey. So it could make you a very popular person indeed. Sagittarius. My sister's a Sagittarius. Hi, Jane. This is for you. Blind prophecy, beware the ego. So in one of the stories, I think it was one of the Scottish myths concerning Merlin, he gets a bit above his boots and starts to really lean into his prophetic ability, and he doesn't kind of deploy the correct discernment or the necessary application or focus that he needs in order to ensure that his prophecies are truly correct. And as a result of this, some dear friends of his end up losing their life, and Merlin goes temporarily mad from guilt. So this is about how our ego can circumvent our natural talent and ability. We can get too cocky, we can get too sure. We can believe people who tell us that we're marvelous when maybe we should be stopping and thinking, hold on here, maybe I'm getting a bit too carried away with myself. Maybe I just need to sit down and take a breath and double check and be a little bit more cautious. So this month, Sagittarians, you are being asked not to allow your ego to run wild, to take a breath, to be a little bit more cautious, to check yourself, and to just make sure that you don't fall into the trap of believing all of the positive things that other people have to say to you, that you remain with a dose of healthy skepticism in order to ensure that you don't fall into a state of being out of control. Okay. Super thirsty today. Capricorns, this is for you. The sister of Merlin, listen and receive. Grania was the name of the sister of Merlin. Once again, this is in the Scottish legend. She later receives Merlin's prophetic gift. He gives it up and gives it to her, and she becomes a very famous prophet in her own right, and she ends up being far more powerful a prophet than he ever was. She's a very loving and attentive sister. During his madness, she builds him a tower, which has many, many windows on all sides so that he can observe the movement of the stars, because she knows that by doing so, it brings him peace. So the sister of Merlin is all about personal power, sovereignty, kindness, and listening to the universe, to the omens and portents, to the synchronicities and serendipities, receiving guidance and acting upon it. This month, Capricorns, is your time to make the most of an attunement that occurs naturally and spontaneously to the universe, that puts you in the right place at the right time, spiritually speaking, to receive guidance with great clarity that maybe in the past you haven't necessarily received. And if you can deploy that guidance with kindness, if you can use it to benefit others, then the reward will be that that power will be sustained. It will be returned to you threefold. So there's a bit of a test involved here as well about not being too precious with the power that is suddenly awoken within you, not greedily possessing it or keeping it only and entirely for yourself, but using it for those people around you who are also in need, and offering it to them freely and with love and with great kindness. And by so doing, you will accrue this positive return of energy that will not only sustain this window of opportunity of connection and attunement, but also anchor it in place. Aquarius, my partner is Aquarius. Andrew, this is for you. The madness of Merlin, surrender to nature. So during his time of madness, Merlin entered into his shamanic era and wandered into the wild woods of Scotland with naught for company but a wolf and a boar. And he painted himself blue and became a bit mad and smelly. But during this time, he re-established a connection to the power of nature. He rooted himself back into the current of the earth, the telluric power. And as a result of that, touched and awoke within him a magic that had always been there, but which had become supplanted by his ability to prophesy. And once it took root, and once he was cured of his madness, it enabled him to become the great enchanter that we know him to be. So for you, Aquarius, this month is all about rerouting yourself in nature, rewilding yourself. It's a very popular phrase, isn't it? Getting out into the garden, into the park, into the wood, and reconnecting to the telluric energy. My partner's going to love hearing all this. It's going to give him an excuse to be even more in the garden than he normally is. So it's an opportunity to reconnect, not only to the earth, but to the magic of the earth, and to allow that magic to rekindle the magic within your blood and muscle and bone, and to further awaken your own natural magical energy and power. Pisces, last of the zodiac signs, according to my piece of paper. The Crystal Cave, ancient magic. So in some of the stories, Merlin has another sacred space, which is a crystal cave in the earth. Some people liken this to Merlin's cave in Tintagel in Cornwall. Beautiful place, if you ever have the opportunity to go. Really, really magical place. It's a throwback to Atlantean times and to the Atlantean age and vibration and to the power of crystals. So for you Pisces people, this month is about reconnecting to your Atlantean past lives, your Atlantean lineage. It's about reconnecting with crystal magic and crystal technology and power, grids, meditating with crystals, healing with crystals, wearing your crystals. It's about retreating into their power, using the crystals as a form of sanctuary within your home to create the right frequency and energetic environment under your pillow at night when you go to sleep, to provide the right harmony to help you move into deeper sleep and to commune with the higher spiritual wisdoms via your dreams, and also to work with the crystals to rebalance your holistic self and bring you deeper healing. So crystals, 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 crystals. That's the thing for you. Okay, folks, we have moved through the zodiac signs, and I hope the guidance that came forward from this deck is of some use to you as you move through this month. I kind of want to say enjoy the weather, but I know that some of you have been having it really rough. So enjoy the weather, but keep cool and don't get sunburnt. I'll be back again next month with some more guidance from the decks for you. In the meantime, if you've not already done so, please do like and subscribe. Mention my little part of YouTube to your friends if you think they might be interested. And also, of course, you can find me on Facebook and Instagram under Edwin Courtenay, and my website, edwincourtenay.co.uk, if you want to find out about all the exciting things that we've got up and coming this month. Lectures to do with haunting, a channeled evening to do with the spiritual energy of the sun, a free Sunday service in which I'll be giving some messages, and a workshop to do with Atlantis, to do with an ancient Atlantean god, the Promethean. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will see you all again very soon. Take care, stay safe and well, and bright blessed be.